I am strong. I am confident. I am an artist, and so are you. And my art is good enough in one of these sketchbooks. Let's go. Hi everybody. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca of Artist Rebecca LS. This is the channel where we have fun with art. And we're certainly going to have fun today because we're going to break in to an A6 Etchr Sketchbook, which is from their Everyday collection. Now, I purchased this with my own money. And yes, they are expensive. And I have been umming and ahhing about getting anything to do with Etchr for a very, very long time. And in fact, recently on Sketches and Scrubs YouTube channel, and if you don't know who she is a fellow YouTube artist. And she's also the UK ambassador to Etchr. And I put on her channel, there's no way that I would ever be able to use Etchr Sketchbooks because I basically feel my art isn't good enough to go in one of their sketchbooks because their price, you've really got to justify the price of their sketchbooks. I got these from Jackson Art Supplies. The A6 is £13. And that is a very good price, £13. That's without delivery. Now the A5 one was £23 and I have a feeling it was on discount. That's a considered purchase. I think, basically, it's only considered purchase if you're not prolific. If you use, a sketchbook slowly, I guess, and you're only doing it every now and then, kind of hobbyist, then, £23 isn't bad at all. Except for me being prolific, I can eat through a sketchbook in less than a week. So the £13 one is not actually a bad price for A6, but I do prefer A5. And so we're going to just get into see why Etchr, these sketchbooks, are rated so good for artists and whether at the end of when I fill them, whether I would continue using them. So that's what this video is about. Confidence and the Etchr Everyday Sketchbooks. Let your confidence flow like a waterfall. Take a deep breath and release and relax before breaking in to an art supply like this. Okay, guys. So what we'll do in this one is take the cling film off and we'll decorate the cover. Might go into a time lapse. I don't know how long this will be. But they're all shrink wrapped and they come in their own little boxes. Now, I have heard that some artists have complained about the sizing. Now, yes, I had to research what the hell sizing was. Everyone was going on about it because I'm not a technical artist. I don't do swatching really, and I don't do all the, technical things, but I had heard about sizing and I wondered what they were on about. And it turns out that it is a kind of substance that is applied to the paper, the sheets of the paper, in order to help it not be so absorbent. It helps watercolour kind of sit on the surface and not sink straight in to the paper. And so some artists have said that it had deteriorated. I think, I don't know what the duration was. It was in a short time, I think. And so they said the paper quality ended up not being so good. So that's another test I'm going to be doing. So it's around, what are we in? We're in May, so it's around the 18th or 19th of May when I'm unpacking this. and I'm going to be not using it every day at the minute because I'm in between projects. I'm still finishing off the 100-day project, and I'm working on a personal project, 2 of them. And so with this one, it will be as and when. So here we unflap here, and inside is one of those silicone gel packets to keep moisture out. So that's nice. This I went for cold pressed, which means it will be a rough texture. You can get hot pressed or cold pressed. And each page, you only get 52 pages. That was another downside for me. Originally when they came out, apparently there were 92 pages or something. Now, for me personally, I could have justified the money for the sketchbooks a lot more freely if it had been 52 sheets, because I use both sides of the page. So it would have doubled the amount of pages I would have had. Now, the paper weight on this is 230 GSM. They're 100% cotton. They're acid-free and they are vegan-friendly. That's what you're paying for. It's very rare to get cotton, paper sketchbooks. So for me, they're not as expensive for the amount of pages that you get as it would be if you were getting a handmade sketchbook with that, if it had, say, Saunders Waterford or Bockingford or anything like that. So they're made in America. You've got your little embroidered llama as their logo. Comes with a ribbon. And it's a canvas cover that feels really nice. Linen cover. And it's rounded. So the corners are rounded. So when you're putting it in your bag, they're not going to get damaged. So that's another good point. We will have a look. We'll take the elastic cover off. It feels very durable. And at the back is a pocket, which is lovely. And inside, you've got the information leaflet, because they know there's no information on the cover. So it just says it's a cotton fabric cover. It's a mixed media heavyweight paper, 230 GSM. It's 100% cotton, cold pressed. Both sides can be used for painting. It's ideal for pen, ink, watercolour and gouache. So it's only 26 sheets. So for me, that is the big negative. That, I'm hoping, is the only negative that I will find. So at the moment, I've only got 2 colours of acrylic gouache. Technically, you'd use acrylic, but I don't like neat acrylic because it's too plasticky and sticks to everything else. So I'm thinking I'm getting into a little toning my papers with acrylic gouache. So I have pale green and raw sienna. So I'm thinking slight landscape, I'll see. Or it could just be, I might just wing it, we'll see. So I'm going to cover the whole thing in a layer. Going to be using a heat gun, so that's why I say I will probably have to go into a time lapse for this. Yeah, now it's quite, I probably should have put gesso, actually. I think gesso would have gone, so for the back of the book, that's what I'm going to do. Do a layer. I thought this had already been primed, but it hasn't. So what you need to do is get a layer of gesso on there. I'll probably do that in a minute, actually. So going to let that dry. We'll go over it in gesso, let that dry, and then we'll do the paint. Put that there. Okay, found my gesso, just from, it's called Deco Patch Gesso. It was really cheap on Amazon for a little pot. It was well under €5. So we'll see if it's going to come out. Hopefully. It's quite thick. I'll bash it about a bit. It's slowly coming. This is all real time that you're watching. Probably have to spoon it out. Yeah, it's quite thick. There we go. Quicken up. But I think once you have got your gesso on, it will be much better. Basically, keep in mind, these are clearly unprimed sketchbooks. And now we know that, we can make it better. It just means when you do gesso, it's a primer. It goes on very smoothly. This has gone on a lot smoother, more fluid than any paint would actually. You get resistance, that's what I was feeling. And so with this, I'm not. It just gives you a barrier. Like painting a canvas, basically. So though you get the 52 pages, you kind of get 2 extra because you've got the front and the back cover. But if we're talking actual pages, then yes, 52. What I'm planning to do with this as well, to get over the whole fear of an expensive book and, you know, all of that, is actually use it. I'm still going to be using my Art Creations sketchbook by Royal Talons. But if there's anything in there that I really want to make better, I'll put it in here and make a better version. It's things like that. But I am also going to be freeing up as well and doing regular, everyday work and really making myself do that and not just leaving it for my best. Because as it says, it is an everyday sketchbook. And basically, you do have to invest in yourself and your artwork, because having a good quality surface will actually make your work look even better. Sometimes you can be very disheartened, and it's the surface, not just the paints, that can let you down. Right, so that's a nice coating there. So we'll get the heat gun now, after thoroughly rinsing the brush. And put it back on my peg brush rest. Put the lid back on because we don't want that drying out. Yeah, that's dry now. So you can see, with me doing it in real time, just how long it can take to dry. And I think that's a good thing, particularly when we're dealing with something new and different. Now, I'm still not sure what I'm going to be creating with only 2 colours, particularly these 2 colours. And we'll just have to see where it takes us. It might end up just being abstract, but I do know I'm going to cover the background in this cream, and this goes on way better now. So it's all, so I wanted to open it up with you so that we all learn together. Now it could be we need to do 2 coats, bear that in mind. This front cover I will be learning, the back cover will probably come out much better. I just want to get this going and get into the decorating of it. But I do think 2 coats of gesso will be better. It means you'll get to save the paint. So what I'll do is do this one side that's had this one layer of gesso. Because, I mean, even though the Turner acrylic gouache isn't as expensive as Holbein, paint is expensive. And so you want to make sure you're not using it all up. So we'll just get in here, try and neaten it up as much as possible. Don't really want to use too much water. We'll do that. That's nice and neat, except for here. There. Okay. So what we'll do now, clean the brush. You see how it's a long process. And I have a cloth to one side that I dry my brush off with. Let's put it back in its brush holder, the rest. I love that it was just from a wooden peg. I have an art hack shorts video that you can check out on my channel. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's completely free to subscribe to my channel, and when you have subscribed, you'll be notified whenever I upload another video. Thank you. Yeah, so 2 coats of gesso, because basically what you want is for it to look white. And what I was noticing, it was still looking a bit dingy. So that's how you'll know if you've got enough gesso. And I'll just go in over that bit. There we are. And you want to do as thin a layers as you can. Not only does it help with drying time, but it also, you won't get, you know, you want a smooth surface with no ridges. Okay, put the brush for wash, put the lid back on, and we'll get the heat gun. And then decorating might appear as a time lapse, seeing as it's taking so long. And this is all about preparing your surface, you see. And preparing a surface does take time. But it's worth it. As you can see the difference. You end up saving on your expensive paint. And you get to see what 2 coats of the gesso does and how it looks. Let's see, any drawing? Bit more. And we're going to go into a time lapse now, guys.
Windows down, scattered clouds, smell of spring outside. Open road, you sitting close. Let's go somewhere far away. As if all I have is you, and I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine.
The first 2 pages are quite stiff to open and they don't lie flat, but we'll see what we can do with it. I've done my initial sketch with a water-soluble pencil, and it's inspired by a piece I did for the 100-day project. And now it's completed.
All I have is you, and I'll be just fine.